what we have discussed last week. Yeah, last week uh, we discussed about the history of atoms, right? I told you about history of atoms. Now today we will go why to the combining atoms. Why the atoms is make a compound molecules, yeah, and yeah. Let's start with the presentation. I will switch the. You can look at my uh, uh, monitor, yeah. I will switch it, and also I will use presentation. Mm, okay, if you have any question, you can write it on the chat. On the yeah, the chat is on the top right of the your screen, I believe, yeah. Or if you use your phones, there is three dots or three bars. You can uh, push the button there and find the chat option. Yeah, you can ask the question through the chat. I will answer it later. Okay, so today we will talk about the compounds mixture. The first part is about compounds mixture and chemical changes. Yeah. Okay. For a reminder, I will ask you about what is an element. Hello guys, what is elements? Marvin?
Smallest yang elemen yang nggak bisa di divide lagi.
Nggak bisa di divide lagi. It's an atom, right? Kalau
Ya,
elemen,
itu
elements,
atomsnya digabung jadi satu. Same atoms.
same kind of atoms. Yeah? So an elements contain only one kind of atoms. Yeah. For example, last week I used sodium atom, if I'm not mistaken. Lithium atoms. Yeah? Lithium element. Lithium. The metals is metal lithium. It we call element because it only consists of one kind of atoms. Yeah? Okay, today we will talk about the compounds. Yeah? So compounds, yeah, a compound is made of atoms of different elements. Yeah, they are bonded together. Okay, the compound is described by a formula made from the symbol of the atoms in it, in the compounds. Yeah, so the plural, if probably you uh, have so many times read formulae. Formulae is the plural of formula. Yeah. For so there are millions of compounds that we already know. Yeah. I will show you some compounds that is common for you. Yeah. This one. Yeah. The name of the compound is water. Yeah. Elements in it: hydrogen and oxygen. How the atoms are joined, it's HOH. Yeah. The formula of compound we write down is H2O. Yeah. Can I ask Darren to read the next one?
Carbon dioxide.
What is the element in it?
Carbon and oxygen.
Carbon and oxygen. And how the atoms are joined?
O, C, and O.
Yeah, O, C, and O. So C in the middle of the between the oxygen atom. Yeah. Okay, and the formula?
CO2.
CO2. Yeah, with 2 is a subscript there. Yeah. Okay, next I will ask Richard. Can you read next one? Name of compound?
Ethanol.
Ethanol. Yeah.
Elements in it: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay. Yeah. How the atoms are joined? It's like in the picture. You can see in the picture. Yeah. So the C, two C's are in the middle, and then next to the C is O, and then around it is H. Yeah. How they are combined, we will talk about it later. Yeah. But what is the formula of the compound? C2
C2H5OH.
H5OH. Yeah. So these are the ethanol, or you usually call this as alcohol. Okay, this one is the the alcohol, the organic one. Okay, and next, yeah, water has two hydrogen atoms join or bonded to an oxygen atom. So the formula is H2O, yeah, where the 2 is written as subscript, same as CO2, because it's have two oxygen, yeah. The 2 for oxygen also written as a subscript, yeah. And in ethanol also, because there are two C's, yeah, C with 2 subscript, yeah, and then H 5 5 is in the subscript OH, or you can if you can also write for the molecular formula. Later you will learn, yeah, in organic chemistry. Yeah, but for now you can write down it C2H6O. Yeah, yeah. You probably you will ask why the OH is the H from in the OH is split from the H in the C, H5. Yeah. It want to show that it is an alcohol. Yeah, later you will learn about this in the organic chemistry. Yeah. Okay, that's some compounds. Yeah, the common compounds you will you have in your daily life. Yeah. Okay. Now mixtures. Yeah. Mixtures contains different substances that are not chemically bonded together. Yeah, so they are not chemically bonded together. Yeah, there is no chemical bond in the mixture. So, yeah, for example, it's this. Yeah, this one is a mixture of iron powder and sulfur. You could separate them by dissolving the sulfur in a solvent. Yeah, yeah, the solvent is, for example, metal benzene, and filtering the iron off. Yeah. Okay, so this is the example of a mixture. However, if you heat the end of a metal rod in a Bunsen burner and you put into the mixture of sulfur and iron, the mixture will start to glow brightly. Yeah, so it shows a chemical change is taking place. Yeah. And the result is a black compound. We call it iron 2 sulfide. Yeah, because the iron is chemically combined with the sulfur. Yeah, it is made of iron and sulfur atoms bonded together. Its formula is FeS. Yeah, it will not dissolve in methyl benzene. Okay. Next, next we will talk about the chemical change. Yeah. You can tell when a chemical change has taken place by these three signs. Yeah. The first one is one or more new chemical substances are formed. Yeah. Yeah, for example, you can describe that the reaction in the picture, the previous picture, yeah, between iron and sulfur in the word equation is iron plus sulfur becomes iron 2 sulfide. Yeah. The plus, okay, plus means, okay, wait. Plus means that it reacts, and you should use arrows, yeah, to write down a chemical equation, not equal, but arrow, yeah. The arrow means to form iron to sulfide, yeah, or in this case, yeah. The new substance usually look different from the starting substances, yeah. For example, sulfur is yellow, yeah, as you see in the previous picture, yeah. Sulfur is yellow, and and the iron is gray. The iron sulfide is black. Yeah. Okay. The other sign also, the second one is energy is taken in or given out during the reaction. Yeah. For this one, energy, is it taken in or given out during the reactions? Can I ask Hansel? Hansel, energinya dipakai atau keluar karena reaksi ini tadi, sulfur dan iron? Diterima ya, because you use you heat up a metal rod in the Bunsen burner and then put it into the mixture, and it will start to glow brightly. So it means you give the energy into the reaction to the substance to make the reaction takes place. Yeah. Okay. Energy needed to start off the reaction between iron and sulfur. Yes. But after you give the energy, yeah, the reaction gave out heat, yeah, since the mixture glow brightly. Yeah. After you give heat, and then it will start the reaction, and it will glow brightly. So first you give the activation energy, if you call it. You activate the energy. You activate the reaction. Sorry, yeah, by giving the heat, and then it will start to react. And when it react, it gives out energy. Yeah. Okay. The next sign is the change is usually difficult to reverse. Yeah. It's difficult to reverse, but it's possible to reverse the reaction with several method of chemical reaction. Yeah. Okay. A chemical change is usually called a chemical reactions. Yeah. And yeah, of course, the chemical change is different from a physical change. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, when you mix this iron powder with sulfur, that is a physical change. No new substance has formed if you then dissolve the sulfur in methyl benzene. That is also a physical change. The solvent could be removed, but again by distilling it. Okay, and after the sulfur is dissolved, you can separate the iron by filter using the filtration method. Yeah, this is a physical change. You can reverse it and putting the iron back into the filtrate again. Yeah, so this is the physical change. Okay, up to this, is there any question? I will check the chatting. No question. Okay, then can continue. Yeah. The next one. Why do atoms form bonds? Yeah. So first we will take a look to the reaction of the reaction between sodium and chlorine. Yeah. Sodium and chlorine are both elements. When sodium is heated and placed in a jar of chlorine, it burns with a bright flame. Yeah? And the result is white solid that has to be scraped from the sides of the jar. It looks like completely different from the sodium and chlorine. Yeah. So you can conclude in here a chemical reaction has taken place. The white solid is sodium chloride. Atoms of sodium and chlorine have bonded or joined together to form a compound. The word equation for the reaction is, can you write it down? All of you, please write it down. I will give you 1 point in the chat. Yeah? Hello? Tulis reaksinya apa? Between sodium and chlorine. The word equation, the word equation for the reactions. Please write down in the chat. Something plus something and then form. Yeah. Can you make arrows in here? Sodium plus chlorine. Sodium chloride. Yeah, sodium and chlorine. Yeah. Okay, I need more. Joey, okay, Richard. Yeah. Sam. Oh yeah, you correct what the previous one, yeah. Sodium chloride, yeah. Okay. Arrow-nya use negative and sign bigger than. Ya, nggak apa-apa. Okay. Iya, sodium chlorine becomes sodium chloride. Okay. Michelle, yeah, thank you. Reinhard, okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Shall we continue? Yes. So yeah, your answer is correct. So this is the word equation of sodium and chlorine. Yeah? Okay. Still, the question is, why do atoms form bond, right? So you have seen the reactions, and now the question is, why do atoms form bonds? Yeah. So yeah, like sodium and chlorine, the atoms of most elements form bonds. Yeah. So why? Yeah, we can get clue. This is from the elements of group 0, group O, 8, or the noble gases. Yeah. Their atoms, yeah, the noble gases, do not form bonds actually. Yeah, the scientists make an experiment that noble gas is very stable. Yeah, this make them called unreactive. Yeah, because they have a very stable arrangement of electrons in the outer shell. Yeah, this make the noble gases unreactive. Okay, yeah. For example, the noble gases are helium. Yeah? Helium has 2 electrons because what is the atomic number of helium? Can I ask Michelle? Michelle, what is the atomic number for helium? Atomic number helium. What is the atomic number of helium? Dua. Yeah, okay, correct. Yeah, so 2 protons and it has 2 electrons and it's a noble gas. Yeah. And also next is the next one is neon. Neon has full outer shell of 8 electrons and it's stable. Yeah. Next one, the noble gas is argon. Argon also there's 8 electrons in its outer shell and it's also stable. Yeah. And that give us the answer to our question, why do atoms form bonds? Yeah. So the answer is atom bond with each other in order to gain a stable arrangement of outer shell electrons, yeah? Like the atoms of group 0 or 8 or the noble gases. Yeah. In other words, they bond together to gain 8 electrons in their outer shell. Yeah. Or 2 if they only have 1 shell. Yeah. Yeah, so these are the reason why the atoms form bonds or react with other atoms. Yeah. Okay. Now we will take a look how. Yeah, this one is how sodium. Yeah, before we react the sodium with chlorine, then we will take a look how a sodium atoms gain a stable outer shell. Yeah, this is a sodium atom. Okay, what is the number, the atomic number of sodium? Chin-Han? Chin-Han? Is there Chin-Han? Yeah, Chin-Han, what is the atomic number of sodium atom? Atomic number. You can open your periodic table, or since this one is sodium atom, probably you can calculate from these figures. Yeah? 11. Okay, yeah, correct. Yeah, because is in atoms the charge of the particle is neutral. Yeah, so the number of electrons and protons must be the same. Yeah, so this is it has 11 electrons. So in sodium atom must be have 11 protons. And proton is positively charged and the electron is negatively charged. Yeah. Okay. The sodium atoms will loses 1 electrons. Yeah. 1 electron and it becomes like this. Yeah, the outermost shell is disappear, yeah, because there is no electrons in the outermost shell. Yeah. So it will have the electronic configuration of 2,8, 2,8. Yeah, we call this yeah, this kind of particles is ions. Yeah, or in this case, is since the name is sodium, so it's sodium ion since it have the charge. Yeah, and this one is a stable ion. Okay. Yeah. Why this charge is +1? Because it loses 1 electron, and in the center, in the nucleus, it has 11 protons. Yeah. So in the outer, in the shell, yeah, the electrons is only 10 electrons. So each electrons have 1 negative charge. Protons have 1 positive charge, right? So 11 minus 10 is +1. So the charge of this sodium ion is +1, or we usually just write plus in here for +1. Yeah. Okay. And the next one is how the chlorine atom gain a stable outer shell. Okay, chlorine atoms. What is the atomic number of chlorine atoms? I want to ask Joey. Joey, what is the 17? Yeah, correct. Yeah. So chlorine atom has atomic number of chlorine atom is 17. So it has 17 protons and 17 electrons. Yeah, so the atom is neutral. So the number of protons and electrons are equal. Okay. So in chlorine, yeah, so the chlorine atom will gain 1 electron. Yeah, because it's easier for chlorine atom to receive 1 rather than remove all the 7 electrons that in the outermost shell that the chlorine atom already has. Yeah, so it just need gain 1 electrons and it will become this. Yeah, it has 8 electrons in the outermost shell, and we call this, and it is as the different number of electron and protons. So this particle will have charge, yeah, since it's the number of protons and electrons is not balanced. Yeah, it has 1 more electrons compared to the protons. Yeah, so the charge is -1, or we just write here minus in here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the electronic configuration is 2,8,8 negative, yeah, because it's negatively charged. Yeah, and this chloride ions is a stable ion. Yeah, and from this discussion, you can, yeah, you have a new. Actually, it's not new. Yeah, just this one. This is just a revision. Yeah, it's about ions. Yeah, ions. An ion is a charged particle. It is charged because it has an unequal number of protons and electrons. Okay, up to this, is there any question?